A lot of live players spend the entire session waiting to make a big hand, then become so worried about scaring everyone away that they miss their best chance to get paid. My name is Sligh, and I am a professional poker player and coach who has been winning for 7 straight years. In this video, I am going to show you the one concept that makes your strongest hands easier to play and helps you get paid by opponents who do not like to fold. There are many circumstances where this concept can be applied, and the first one will be shown when I am dealt Jack 9 offsuit in big blind at a 5-10 game. Under the gun starts out with a limp for $10, and this causes a chain reaction as cutoff limps and small blind decides to do the same. With a mediocre hand, there is no point in raising, so I will check my option. It is much better to take the free flop than trying to make everyone fold. We are four-handed going to a flop of 10-7 ace rainbow. Not the best flop for my hand, but an 8 would give me the best straight possible. Small blind checks, and I check as well. Under the gun makes it a pot-sized wager for $40. Cutoff is going to call, and small blind is going to be folding their hand. It is a big size, but I do have to consider the implied odds here if the turn is one of the 4 8s I want to see. It may be possible to stack one of my opponents in the future. I will put in the call. We are three-handed going to the turn, and it comes the 8 of spades giving me the straight. Some people would decide to lead here, but there is no point. With the aggression that has been shown already on the flop, one of them will for sure continue betting. I check, and under the gun is going to bet big by making it $110 to go. Cutoff puts in the call, and now it is finally time to use the one concept I discussed earlier. With two people still being in the pot and the spade flush draw coming in on the turn, you must always fast play your hand. Even if the turn did not bring a flush draw, check raising here is the play. You do not want to just call and hope someone fires out another bet on the river. Under the gun has bet pot and 75% of the pot. These big bets at the poker table tends to mean they have a strong hand. Also, with cutoff calling, they are not weak either. There are a bunch of sets and two pairs that are in both of their ranges, especially with this being a limp pot. I will check raise a little over 3x, making it $360 to go. Villain, who fired the double barrel, does not make a decision right away. After about 1 minute, they do finally fold, but this shows they must have had an extremely strong hand. Cutoff does not think as long as them, and they will be putting in the call. We go to the river, and it comes the 5 of clubs. Perfect river and perfect sizing for the check raise on the turn. Why? It's because if you look at the pot size, there is 990 in it. Villain only has a little over $900 left, which will set up a perfect pot size jam on the river. Yes, we do not want to size down here and bet 25% or 50% attempting to get called. Part of fast playing your hands is understanding when you have it, bet big and really big. Players do not even tend to know how big the bets are anyway and only see what they have to call. To maximize our winnings at the poker tables in this spot, you must go for it all. I go all in on the river, and my opponent does think about it for a little. Ultimately, they decide to call. I turn over my straight, and they fold their cards, saying they had pocket aces for top set. They tried their best to trap everyone at the table with aces, but their trap cost them over $1,300. Stop slow playing and start fast playing with your big hands if you want to be a winning poker player. If you are slow playing your strongest hands, missing value, or giving your opponents cheap cards to beat you, the low stakes poker blueprint will help you clean up these exact mistakes. It is a free guide with 100 rules for the live spots that come up again and again, including when to build a pot, when to value bet, and when it is time to stop getting tricky. Scan the QR code on screen or use the link in the pinned comment and I'll send it to you for free. Same concept, but different situation when I am dealt King 9 suited on the button. Blinds are 510, and under the gun is going to open 3x to $30. It folds to me on the button and I put in a call. Small blind folds and big blind comes along as well. Button is the best and most profitable position to play at the poker table, so I do not mind calling with a strong suited Broadway hand. We are three-handed headed to a flop of 9-7-5 with two hearts. I have top pair, second best kicker, but the possibility of making a flush does not exist. Big blind checks, and the pre-flop aggressor in under the gun will check a couple of seconds after. I do not want my two opponents to see a turn for free, as there are a lot of cards that will destroy the strength of my hand. Any 8, 6, 3, heart, or other overcards would not be good unless it is a king, of course. Yes, I can be behind to ace 9 suited, two pairs, straights, and some over pairs, but this is only a small portion of both my opponent's ranges. The best play here is going to be to place out a big bet for $60. Big blind calls and under the gun will fold their hand. We are heads up going to the turn and it comes the king of clubs. I now have taken over the aggression in this pot and have full control, especially with the pre-flop aggressor folding. The turn giving me top two pair puts us in an even better spot. Villain checks, and there are now two flush draws on the board. Checking back here is not an option as we want our opponent to pay for any draw they may be holding. They can have pair plus flush draw or pair plus straight draw type holdings. Sets are very unlikely without them check raising on this wet of a flop. Fast playing your hand and finding the right bet size is crucial in this situation. I did bet big on the flop, but now it is time to size up even more on the turn. To maximize your profitability, these are the spots you cannot slow down on. Yes, choosing a smaller size is still considered slowing down. I will go for an overbet for about 150% of the pot, making it $300 to go. Villain does think about their decision for about 1 minute, but finally they come along with the call. We go to the river and it comes the 6 of clubs. My opponent checks. The backdoor flush draw completes and there is a 4-liner to a straight, so it's a horrible river. If you are not familiar with a 4-liner, it is when one card in any player's hand can make a straight. In this case, any 8 makes a straight. So for these two reasons, there is no way I am getting called by worse, so I am happy to check back to get to showdown. They turn over king 3 of hearts for the pair plus flush draw I talked about. I bet big on the flop, bigger on the turn, and maximized my overall win as this hand with putting in a lot of chips as quickly as possible. Knowing when to keep building the pot and when a bad river ends your value is one of the biggest differences between a break-even player and a consistent winner. These are the same rules that have helped me be a winning poker player for 7 years, and I put 100 of them inside the low stakes poker blueprint. Scan this QR code or use the link in the pinned comment to receive it for free. This time I will have pocket sixes playing in position on the button. The $10 straddle is on at this 2-5 game, and hijack will open 3.5x to $35. It folds to me, and I will put in the call, looking for a set on the flop. It folds around to the straddle, and they will come along too. We are three-handed, headed to a flop of king 10-6, 2 spades. As you have seen before, the goal here is going to be to fast play as quickly as possible. Yes, sometimes we will be behind to a set of kings and tens, but it is at a very low frequency. The straddle checks and the original opener will c-bet, making it 60 to go. The goal here is to target all of the flush draws, straight draws, top pair good kicker, and 2-pair holdings. Notice how many hands I was able to name here that is not a set that beats me. The math shows majority of the times we will be ahead, and this is the best line to take to increase the chances of getting paid. I will raise in position to $160. The straddle will fold, and unfortunately, the pre-flop aggressor folds too. This is not the time to be results oriented. It is about making the bets that will win us the most long term. In this exact scenario, raising the flop is the best decision. The next hand I would be dealt pocket kings, but this time I would be the pre-flop aggressor. Notice I do not try to limp to go for a limp raise. I am just going to do the most profitable play and open 3x to $30 in under the gun position. Villain in under the gun +1, who is short stacked with about 500, puts in the call. It folds to big blind and they call too. We are three-handed headed to a flop of Jack 5-4 rainbow. Immediately in this spot, I am thinking one thing. I must do my best to stack the short stack and must build this pot as quickly as possible. I have an overpair to the board and they do have Jack X in their range, such as Ace Jack, King Jack, Queen Jack, etc. The goal is to bet 3 streets without slowing down due to the stack to pot ratio. Big blind is going to check, and I will place out a C bet for $30. Villain in under the gun +1 will call, and big blind comes along as well. We go to the turn, and it's the 6 of spades. Big blind is going to check. The turn looks scary because there are straights that have completed, such as 8-7 suited and offsuit, 7-3 suited, and 3-2 suited. These hands could be in their range, but if they do have it, I will for sure hear from either player on the turn with a raise. Because of this reason, I am still comfortable to find a double barrel here to get called by all Jack X holdings, straight draws, and flush draws. Before on the flop, I only mentioned building a pot to win against Jack X, but keep in mind, top pair is not always the only worst hand that calls another bet. I will continue to build the pot by sizing up on the turn, placing out a bet for $120. Under the gun +1 is going to call, and big blind is going to lay it down. Perfect spot so far, as we can comfortably go all in on the river as long as it's a clean one. We are heads up going to it, and it's the 4 of hearts. This card does not change much as it's very hard for them to river trips. They would need to have exactly Ace-4 of spades and other 4x spade type holdings. I announced to the dealer I am all in, continuing the fast play mentality. They snap call. I turn over kings and they will fold their hand. This hand looks simple once you see the result, but learning to build a pot without becoming afraid of everyone folding took me years. I made plenty of other expensive mistakes along the way, and I put the 25 most important lessons into the next video. Watch it because one of those lessons may be the mistake costing you thousands over time.